Hey, dear members of the Soul and Love Stories family. Today, we're bringing you a heartwarming rom-com tale from the glowing streets of Asheville, where a single act of kindness sparks a family bound by love. Get ready for Lila, Eleanor, and Jack's unforgettable journey. Let's dive into this cozy autumnal story of cookies, champagne, and unexpected bonds. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss a meaningful story, and please leave a comment with Mom to send wishes for every mother's health and happiness. Let's start. Autumn in Asheville, North Carolina, draped Main Street in vibrant golden leaves, where Sunny Spoon hummed with the aroma of apple pie and fresh coffee. This morning, Lila Brooks, 28, bustled in a worn green apron, wiping tables spotless, humming to Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire, spinning on the old record player in the corner. She dropped a tray of spoons, the clatter drowning out the music. "Lila, you need a day off," she laughed to herself, picking them up, curly hair a mess under sunlight streaming through the window. Lila lived simply in a tiny apartment, scraping by on rent, eating leftover diner bread to save cash. In her pocket, she always carried an old music box, her mom's keepsake, playing Moon River when her heart felt empty. Someday I'll have a home, she'd dream. Not just an apartment, but a place with someone waiting. Today, after her shift, she stepped onto the chilly autumn street. Her wallet was missing, only $5 left. But she paused at the small park where an old lady often watched birds. Then she saw her, Eleanor Whitmore, 70, slumped on a wooden bench, face pale, her wool scarf slipping off. Lila ran over, kneeling, calling, "Ma'am, are you okay?" No one else helped, just leaves falling softly. Lila's heart pounded. She fumbled for her phone, dialing 911, hands shaking. "Stay calm, girl," she told herself, though her mind was as jumbled as that spoon tray. At the local hospital, antiseptic mingled with dim yellow light, black and white photos on the walls evoking 1970s Asheville. Lila sat by Eleanor, holding her hand, worry gnawing. The doctor, a middle-aged man with thick glasses, asked, "Are you related to Mrs. Whitmore?" Lila froze, mouth dry. Before she could answer, Eleanor's eyes fluttered open, dazed, gripping Lila's hand. "My sweet girl," she whispered faintly. "You're back with Mom." Lila blinked, face burning like pie in the oven. She glanced at the doctor, then Eleanor, her gut saying she couldn't leave her alone. "Yes, it's me," she said softly, voice trembling, like stepping into an unscripted role. The doctor nodded, jotting something down, while Lila stayed, hand in Eleanor's, feeling an odd mix, nervous yet warm, as if Asheville had just handed her a task bigger than clearing tables at Sunny Spoon. She looked out the window, golden leaves swirling in the wind, muttering to herself, "Lila, what did you just do?" But as Eleanor gave a faint smile, Lila knew, even if it was one small act, she'd started a story whose ending she couldn't yet guess. On the third day at Asheville's hospital, Lila Brooks sat by Eleanor Whitmore's bed, autumn sunlight filtering through the window, casting a pale gold glow over the room. The antiseptic scent mixed with chicken soup Lila brought from Sunny Spoon, where she'd taken the morning off to stay here. Eleanor, 70, looked stronger, her green eyes twinkling at Lila. "Sweet girl," she called, voice frail but warm. "No work today." Lila blushed, setting the soup down, nearly dropping the spoon. Taking a break, Mom," she replied. Mom slipping out easier than expected, though her heart pounded at this unintended role. Lila didn't know why she hadn't cleared the misunderstanding. Maybe it was Eleanor's smile, or how she held her hand, like Lila was truly the daughter she'd waited for. She grabbed an old book from the hospital shelf, Anne of Green Gables, and read aloud, stumbling over tricky words. Eleanor chuckled, patting her hand. "You read like my mom did, teaching piano to kids." Lila smiled, sharing about her own mom, who loved Moon River like Eleanor. "Mom had a music box. Every time I play it, she's there," she said, eyes stinging. Eleanor nodded. "You're like her, always brightening folks up." Humor crept in when Lila snuck out her cracked screen phone, watching YouTube to learn blood pressure checks. She strapped the cuff on Eleanor, muttering, "Green button or red?" The machine beeped. Lila yelped, nearly knocking it off the bed. A passing nurse laughed. "Sweetheart daughter, you're doing great." Lila flushed, mumbling, "Thanks, I'm trying." She thought, "This thing's tougher than baking apple pie at Sunny Spoon." That afternoon, Doris, Sunny Spoon's 62-year-old owner, visited toting cookies. She eyed Lila, teasing, "From waitress to millionaire's daughter, huh?" Lila waved her off, face hot. "Just helping Mrs. Whitmore," Doris winked. "Sure, helping. While the town's buzzing, you're her angel." Lila squirmed, but as Doris left, Eleanor pulled her close. "You being here," she said, "makes me feel young, back when I played piano at the town hall." Lila sang "You Are My Sunshine" at Eleanor's request, off-key, making them both giggle. In the hallway, nurses and Asheville regulars whispered, "That Lila's a gem, staying with Mrs. Whitmore all day." An old diner patron said, "She's like my daughter, gives without asking." Lila overheard bits, heart tangled. She knew she wasn't Eleanor's daughter, but each smile from the old woman made her want to stay longer. As night fell, Lila sat by a sleeping Eleanor, holding her mom's music box. She opened it, Moon River, whispering softly. Gazing at Eleanor, she thought, "I don't know what I'm doing, but if you need me, I'm here." Outside, golden leaves fell on Asheville's streets, as if the town were gently cradling them both, readying for a story bigger than Lila could see. A week after Eleanor Whitmore's hospital admission, autumn sunlight still gilded Asheville's Main Street, but the local hospital buzzed with tension. Lila Brooks sat by Eleanor's bed, rubbing menthol oil on her feet, humming "You Are My Sunshine," adorably off-key. Eleanor, 70, chuckled softly, gripping Lila's hand. "Sweet girl," she said, "your voice reminds me of my piano teaching days." Lila blushed, nearly dropping the oil jar. "Just trying, Mom," she replied. Mom now feeling gentler, like a warm habit. Crisp footsteps echoed outside. Jack Whitmore, 37, pushed the door open, gray suit rumpled from a drive from New York. Tall, brown hair, mussed, his sharp green eyes held worry. A hotel chain owner, he rarely visited Asheville, but a hospital call made him ditch a meeting to race back in his dad's old Jeep. He froze seeing Lila, a stranger, tending his mom like family. "Mom?" he called, voice deep. Eleanor's eyes opened, a faint smile forming. "Jack, you're here." She pointed at Lila. "My daughter's here." Jack frowned, scanning Lila. Stained apron, curly hair tied sloppily, awkward grin. "Daughter?" he repeated, voice cool. Lila shot up, knocking the oil jar to the floor, minty scent filling the room. "I'm not," she stammered. "I mean, I brought her to the hospital. She called me that. I didn't correct her because—" She trailed off, face red as the maples outside. Jack crossed his arms, eyes skeptical. "So who are you? Why's my mom think you're her kid?" Lila took a breath, steadying herself. "I'm Lila, from Sunny Spoon. She collapsed in the park. I called 911 and it just happened." Eleanor cut in, voice sharp. "Jack, stop grilling her. Lila's been here all week while you were off making money somewhere." Jack went quiet, guilt flickering, but he still didn't fully trust Lila. A gold digger, maybe? He'd met those types in New York. Lila, flustered, noticed a plain, worn, silver ring on Jack's hand, like one Eleanor mentioned about her husband. "Nice ring," she blurted, dodging tension. "Your dad's?" Jack paused, touching it. "How'd you know?" he asked, softening slightly. Lila gave a shy smile. "She told me about Mr. Whitmore." Jack studied her, starting to think she wasn't scheming, but he kept his guard up. "Let me get you coffee," Lila said quickly, nodding at the hallway machine. "Sorry, about the oil." Jack hesitated, then nodded. They sat across from each other under the hospital's yellow light, mugs steaming. Lila clumsily spilled sugar, muttering, "I'm such a mess." Jack's lips twitched, a tiny smile breaking through. Outside, golden leaves fell on Asheville's streets, and in that moment, he sensed this town, and the girl before him, held a story he didn't yet grasp. Days after the tense hospital meeting, Jack Whitmore lingered in Asheville, not rushing back to New York. He drove his dad's old Jeep down Main Street, golden leaves littering the way, mind tangled over his mom and Lila Brooks. He'd pegged her as a gold digger, but her flustered eyes and off-key singing stuck with him. Was I wrong? He wondered, touching the silver ring, his dad's keepsake, like it held answers. Jack decided to watch Lila. Early morning, he hit Sunny Spoon, a cozy diner where an old record player spun Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison Blues. Lila, 28, hustled wiping tables, green apron flower-streaked, dropping a tray of spoons. Again, Lila, she laughed, picking them up. Unaware, Jack sat in the corner, pretending to read a paper. He saw her chat with a regular old man, slipping him extra apple pie. Breakfast treat, okay? Tommy, Doris's 10-year-old grandson, bounded in, chirping, Lila, cookies today? She winked, sneaking him one. Secret, don't tell Doris. Jack trailed Lila all day, a clumsy detective. He watched her help an elderly woman cross the street, haul a neighbor's trash, and pay Eleanor's hospital fees with crumpled bills from her pocket. At the hospital, Lila sat by Eleanor, 70, reading Anne of Green Gables, voice halting but warm. When Eleanor dozed, Lila nodded off, the book slipping, her Moon River music box peeking from her bag. Jack stood outside the door, feeling ashamed for doubting her. That night in the hospital hallway, dim yellow light bathed 2 coffees from an old machine. Jack handed Lila a cup, voice low. Thanks for being here when I couldn't. Lila jumped, nearly spilling it, smiling awkwardly. Just doing something, Mr. Whitmore. Sitting across, she spoke of losing her parents young, dreaming of a home, not a mansion, but a place with someone waiting. I thought Mrs. Whitmore needed someone, so I stayed, she said, eyes bright. Jack looked at her, truly looked. I thought money bought everything, he admitted, turning the silver ring, until Mom needed me, and all I did was send bills. Lila smiled, sliding a cookie from her bag toward him. For you, so you stop frowning, she teased, voice light. Jack took it, lips twitching. You're a coffee spill disaster, but Mom needs someone like you. In the hall, Doris, dropping off cookies for Eleanor, passed by, whispering to a nurse, if those two don't end up together, I'm quitting baking. Lila caught a snippet, face flaming, pretending to wipe her hands. As Jack left, she returned to Eleanor's room, seeing her smile and sleep. Lila opened her music box, Moon River humming softly, and thought, I don't know where I'm going, but if she needs me, I won't leave. Outside, Asheville's streets hushed, golden leaves falling under moonlight, as if the town whispered that Lila and Jack, unaware, had begun a story bigger than they could see. 10 days after Lila Brooks brought Eleanor Whitmore to the hospital, Asheville still glowed with golden leaves, but the air in the local hospital room turned heavy. Lila sat by Eleanor, 70, sharing a story about a Sunny Spoon regular who baked the town's best apple pie, trying to spark a smile. Eleanor held her hand, eyes bright. Sweet girl, you always cheer me up. Lila smiled, but unease stirred. The word daughter now felt both warm and like a reminder of an incomplete truth. That morning, a new nurse, Jane, entered with a file, frowning. Ms. Brooks, the doctor needs you and Mr. Whitmore in the office, she said, tone serious. Lila flinched, nearly dropping her Moon River music box from her pocket. Jack Whitmore, 37, just arrived, gray suit slightly rumpled, overheard from the doorway. He glanced at Lila, worry flickering. What's this about? He asked, but Lila shook her head, face paling. I don't know, she mumbled. In the small office, old wood mingled with autumn sunlight slipping through blinds. Dr. Harris, who'd admitted Eleanor, faced them. The family records don't match, he said. Ms. Brooks isn't Mrs. Whitmore's daughter. Lila bowed her head, clutching her apron, voice trembling. I didn't mean to lie. She collapsed in the park, called me her daughter. I just wanted her happy. She braced for Jack's anger, but he stayed quiet, touching his silver ring, eyes unreadable. Jack took a breath, standing. It's my fault, he said, voice low. I wasn't here sooner, leaving Mom to lean on a stranger. Don't blame her. Lila blinked, eyes stinging, but guilt weighed her down. The doctor nodded, agreeing to keep it from Eleanor, but a careless nurse had already let it slip. Back in the room, Eleanor sat up, eyes red, clutching her old wool scarf. Lila, Eleanor called, voice frail. Lila froze, heart tightening. I'm sorry, she whispered, tears falling. I'm not your daughter. I just wanted to stay. Eleanor beckoned her, pulling a simple silver bracelet etched with flowers from a jewelry box. I know you're not my girl, she said, voice breaking, but your heart's what I always wished for. Wear it and don't leave me. Lila sobbed, slipping on the bracelet, feeling its weight like a lifetime of love. She started to leave, thinking she didn't belong. I messed up, she said, stepping into the hall where Doris, Sunny Spoon's owner, had come to visit. Doris hugged her, whispering, Girl, a true heart's never wrong. Jack stood nearby, watching Lila, his gaze no longer suspicious but kind. Stay, he said softly. Mom needs you. Lila nodded, wiping tears, but her mind swirled. She'd found a family, but did she fit? Outside, golden leaves twirled in Asheville's autumn breeze, as if the town murmured to Lila, Girl, the story's not over. She gripped the bracelet, her music box faintly humming, and Moon River seemed to sing in her heart, guiding her to a new turn. After the truth came out, Lila Brooks returned to Sunny Spoon, but her heart stayed at Asheville's hospital, where Eleanor Whitmore's silver bracelet weighed on her wrist. The diner buzzed this morning, apple pie and coffee scents mingling, the old record player spinning Johnny Cash's I Walk the Line. Lila wiped tables, dropping a tray of spoons, laughing, Lila, ever learn? But her smile faded, thinking of Eleanor. Was she okay after everything? Mid-rush, Jack Whitmore pushed through the door, gray shirt sleeves rolled, hair mussed from driving his Jeep from his mom's estate. Lila jumped, nearly spilling the coffee pot. Apple pie? She asked, voice shaky. Jack grinned, fumbling with the menu. Peanut butter sandwich, maybe? She laughed, first time all day, at his odd lunchtime choice. Tommy, Doris's 10-year-old grandson, piped up. Lila, he likes you. Peanut butter's proof. Lila blushed, shooing him. Tommy, go bake. Jack waited till the crowd thinned, then said, Lila, I was wrong to doubt you. Mom needs you and I'm sorry. He invited her to dinner with him and Eleanor at the estate. Lila hesitated, touching the bracelet. I'm not sure I belong there, she whispered. Tommy, sweeping nearby, yelled, Go, Lila! Mrs. Whitmore loves you best. Doris at the counter winked. Listen to the kid, girl. Lila smiled, nodding, though her heart churned. That night at Eleanor's estate, golden lamplight bathed a wooden dining table, roast chicken aroma wafting. Eleanor, stronger now, sat at the head, old wool scarf draped over her shoulders. She hugged Lila, eyes bright. You're home. Lila flushed, sitting by Jack, gripping the bracelet. Eleanor played Moon River on the piano, notes ringing like memories. Lila sang along, off-key, making them all laugh. You're a musical disaster, Eleanor teased, then pulled a green wool scarf from a cabinet for Lila. Family doesn't need papers, she said. Lila hugged her, tears falling, feeling she'd found a mother. Jack drove Lila home under Asheville's streetlights, golden leaves glinting. Mom needs you, he said, voice low, then paused, eyes on her. And so do I. Lila flustered, teased. Watch it, Whitmore. I'm only good at spilling coffee. He laughed, eyes brighter than the moon. Back in her apartment, the Moon River music box hummed. Lila held the scarf, whispering, Asheville, am I home? A year after Lila Brooks brought Eleanor Whitmore to the hospital, Asheville sparkled in autumn sun, golden leaves falling like bits of joy on Main Street. The Whitmore estate glowed, hosting Eleanor's 70th birthday party, fragrant with cookies and champagne. Lila stood by Eleanor in a simple green dress, the silver bracelet Eleanor gave her glinting under the lights. She beamed, no longer the clumsy girl dropping trays at Sunny Spoon, but part of this home. Eleanor, healthier now, wore her old wool scarf, hugging Lila before the crowd, townsfolk, hospital nurses, even some New York business types. Doris, Sunny Spoon's owner, whispered to Nurse Jane, Told you, that girl's a treasure. Tommy, the 10-year-old, raced around, handing out star-shaped cookies, shouting, Lila's Mrs. Whitmore's princess. Lila blushed, nearly spilling her champagne, laughing. Tommy, I'm just good at dropping stuff. The room roared, warm as an old song. Jack Whitmore, 37, stood near the piano, gray shirt sleeves rolled, eyes fixed on Lila. He'd stayed in Asheville more, selling hotel shares to be with his mom. Today he was nervous, fingers brushing a silver ring in his pocket. Not his dad's, but a new one, etched like Lila's bracelet. As Eleanor played Moon River on the piano, its soft notes wrapping the room, Lila sang along, off-key, making Jack smile. Mid-party, Jack pulled Lila to the garden, under a blazing red maple, moonlight filtering through golden leaves. Lila, he said, voice low, when Mom called you her daughter, you couldn't argue. Be my wife and she'll be completely right. He knelt, offering the silver ring, eyes bright as Asheville streetlights. Lila froze, tears spilling, then laughed. Whitmore, you sure? I'm still a coffee-spilling pro. She nodded, slipping on the ring, and Jack hugged her, both laughing amid falling leaves. Back at the party, Eleanor embraced them, eyes misty. This house finally has a daughter, she said, voice catching. The crowd cheered. Doris hollered, I won the bet. A heart-shaped cake arrived, inscribed, Family is made by love. Tommy ran up, giving Lila a drawing. Her, Jack, Eleanor, and him, labeled Lila's home. Lila wiped tears, hugging him, knowing she'd found home, not her tiny apartment, but hearts that chose her. In the final scene, the estate shone, Moon River drifting from the piano. Lila sat by Jack, hands entwined, Eleanor in her scarf, smiling at them. Outside, Asheville hushed, leaves falling softly, whispering that Lila's kindness had baked a family sweeter than any recipe. Doris raised a glass. To the girl who spills coffee and won the town. Everyone laughed, and Lila thought, thank you, Asheville, for giving me a home. Thank you for joining us on this heartfelt journey with Lila, Eleanor, and Jack on the Soul and Love Stories channel. Share your thoughts about their cozy, love-filled story in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a mom to send wishes for every mother's health and happiness. If you believe kindness can bake a family sweeter than any recipe, hit the like button and share this tale with your friends. To keep savoring, touching, and meaningful stories, subscribe to our channel and join us in spreading messages of love and warmth. Let's cherish life's beautiful moments together.